Gordon Freeman is not pleased. He wants to know something. It's a very, very important something that I think we all deserve to know. Especially since, you know, it's 2012. My iPod is for some reason not connecting to my computer because iTunes is being stupid. And once again, Half-Life 2 is scarier than the new Resident Evil game. Now, I used to be a big fan of Resident Evil until I played Silent Hill. Reason being, I found Silent Hill scarier. You had the cerebral, psychological mindfuck going on in Silent Hill that you didn't really have in Resident Evil. Resident Evil was, hey, look, zombies. That was it. That's all it needed to be. The camera angles added to the tense atmosphere. The controls added to the tense atmosphere. Somewhere around Resident Evil 4, they decided, hey, let's make it action because people were complaining about the fighting. And that's when I wish they would have stopped. I hated 4. I'm the only person I know that absolutely hated 4. 5 was alright. And now we have Resident Evil 6. And I thought I was having a hard time with the Borderlands 2 review. I wasn't really looking forward to Resident Evil 6. In fact, you can almost say that I was kind of hoping the oven was on by the time I got the copy to review. Just so I could throw it in and see if it makes a better pizza than it does a game. I didn't test that theory out. I didn't, and I'll explain here in a bit why. But, I have to admit, I was shocked. The first 5 minutes make it a almost completely phenomenal horror game. Unless you play through those 5 minutes and get to the main game, and you realize, wow, those 5 minutes were the best part of the game. Now, I want to get the positive stuff out of the way. The graphics in it are beautiful. They're phenomenal graphics. Though I would like to know why Leon Kennedy always has the world's best hairstyle. I mean, seriously. Liquid Thought and I were joking around saying that he had Sam Winchester hair because it never got messed up. It's always long and perfect. Even your partner in Leon's campaign, her hair gets wet and matted down. His hair, always the same. It could be raining, he could get a fucking swirly. His hair will be perfect. But seriously, the graphics are great. The game looks great. Everything else is... Leon says the dumbest things. I'm pretty sure Chris does too, but that's because Chris is, you know, a jarhead. I'm looking for any Marine that's going to try to kill me. Jake, I don't want to spoil it. I'll just say he has a connection to Wesker, that when they said it, my immediate reaction was, can we just start a new storyline without Wesker, without Ada, without Umbrella? I'll get to that Umbrella in a minute because it is cheap. And I don't mind Leon so much, I don't mind Chris. But when you try to spoon feed us like Sherry Birkin as a playable character, and Sherry is essentially just Rebecca Chambers in Resident Evil 0. Same character. Leon's campaign, you meet Helena from Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles, who he rescued. He takes one look at her and goes, "Who the hell are you?" And my first instant, after playing one level of Dark Side Chronicles, was, you're the one who saved her! But, the story... the bad guys release the C virus in order to spread world peace. Now, anyone who's read the X-Men Destiny Brain Junk Food knows the story, how completely asinine it is. Hang on, I'm gonna fix the camera here. Oh, crap, too close, sorry. Nobody wants to see my clogged pores, I'm sure. That in X-Men Destiny, the villain's like, oh, I'm going to establish human-mutant peace by, waiting till we're at the bridge of human-mutant peace and starting a war between humans and mutants to establish human-mutant peace. Same thing here. We want a perfect world. So right when the president is going to announce what we did wrong so he can have that perfect world, no secrets from the rest of the world, we're going to destroy the world. What's the point? What's the fucking point? It's... And the thing is, the guy who does it, I mean, as soon as you see this guy, you go, oh, he's the bad guy. It's no big secret. They make him look as evil as possible. And to top it off, he wears a bolo tie. He might as well have worn a cowboy hat and spoke with a Texas accent. That way you can really know he's JR. He's the final boss in the game, and has no less than 6 forms. 5 of them you fight in the same level, not one after the other, but after you think you kill him and your character say, he's dead, you walk 2 steps, he comes back as a different form. And then you have to solve a puzzle to kill him. Now, this works in certain contexts, not multi-stage boss battles. It worked in Silent Hill Downpour, which, when I do the Brain Junk Food, you may or may not see. I'm not sure. I haven't decided if I'm going to spoil that or not for people who haven't seen the final boss in it. But it worked because the combat in Silent Hill Downpour was purposely terrible. It doesn't work for Resident Evil 6, however, because the combat is attempting to be good. You want to focus the boss battle on the combat, not focus the boss battle on, gee, we need to make the boss grab that thing. I had an easier time playing Angry Birds Rio. And if anyone's played Angry Birds Rio and the second boss in that where he's constantly moving, you have to time everything right. If you're bad at timing like I am, and you're having an easier time with that than the boss in Resident Evil 6, you should probably put the control down. I know I did, but that's not why. First time I put the control down was in the very first level of Leon's campaign. Zombie walked past me, past Helena, and started attacking a wall. If you ever played a game where the zombie attacks an inanimate object, or a bad guy starts shooting at an inanimate object, I'm not counting cover. I'm not counting cover. That's completely different. I mean a fucking harmless wall. If you haven't, you're one of the lucky ones. I hadn't up until that point. I had to put the control down and laugh hysterically. I stopped playing shortly after that. I had some things I needed to do. Picked it up the next day. I get to a level where, before I fight a boss that's a naked woman with spider legs coming out of her back and giving you a lap dance. I wish to God I was making that up. After you fight her, or before you fight her, you're on this bridge. Zombies are chasing you on the bridge. Thought, okay, fine. They give you zombies that are about 400 pounds, and as soon as they walk on the bridge, you're on your ass. After I beat that, after I beat the boss, I'm still on these bridges, I'm running, and all of a sudden I see a zombie. Lo and behold, he walks right past me. I'm thinking, okay, he's going to attack my partner. She's drawing aggro. Walks right past her. 5 feet after walking past the both of us, it turns right and jumps off the bridge. Gordon Freeman was not pleased. How fucking dumb does Capcom think we are? Normally I'd say it feels like the AI was just unpolished. No, this feels like it was programmed to be bad on purpose. Because, oh, our game's too good, nobody can beat it unless we dumb it down for them. That's what it feels like to me. I know I'm a little paranoid when it comes to that type of shit. But the only trouble I had with the bosses was the last boss with his 6 fucking forms, because it was all a puzzle. I didn't have a problem with the zombies. I didn't have a problem with the actual puzzles in the game that weren't combat related. In fact, if anything, I got tired of both fighting zombies, endless fucking swarms until you like hit a 5-minute point, or until one instance the guy decides, oh, you're not a zombie, I'm gonna open the door for you after all. Then you start playing another campaign, whether it's Chris's or Jake's after beating Leon's, and you find out Leon's was supposed to be the last campaign in the game. Not counting the 4th campaign, Ada, which... Remember how there's always a clone of Wesker? Apparently Ada Wong's the same way. I will spoil that due to the sheer fact that as soon as I saw 2 different Ada Wongs, except one was evil and wore blue, the other one was good and wore red, I just had to gouge my eyes out in fucking sheer stupidity of it. Blue Ada Wong works for a terrorist faction called Neo Umbrella. I don't know, because I can't tell on the screen in front of me. I can't see if you can see my eyebrow twitching. It's twitching. You can let Umbrella die and keep it a Resident Evil game. Silent Hill. The only thing that stays the same is the city, and maybe sometimes the nurses. Final Fantasy. Not even the same universe every game. Oh, God, I'm trying to think. Dragon Age. Different character every game. Dragon Age 3 is going to be a new character. Yeah. You can move on. Umbrella's gone. Don't remake Umbrella. And it gets really, really cheap. After you beat a character, he falls onto a pillar and his blood leaks onto the sidewalk. And then it pans out and the sidewalk just happens to make, with the blood, the Umbrella logo. If anybody's seen the Punisher movie, where, the one with Thomas Jane and John Travolta, where the Punisher somehow sets explosives on cars to make the Punisher skull, that was less ridiculous than China accidentally building the Umbrella logo in the middle of its fucking city. Now, the only reason Resident Evil 6 isn't getting a straight F with me is because the first 5 minutes. If they made the game like that, I would have been in love. I would have been giving this A's across the board. That and the graphics. And the biggest reason I'm not giving it a straight F, the game's fucking hilarious. It's easy. It's stupid. And because of that, it is funny as hell. I mean, I'm angry, I'm ranting about it, I'll admit. I'm surprised I haven't woken Liquid Cloud up. She's taking a nap. No, the game's hilarious. Rent it, just to see how bad it is. If you're a diehard fan of the series, you might like it. My roommate is a diehard fan. She hates it. Well, she doesn't hate it. She thinks it's bad, but she doesn't exactly hate it. My best friend loved Resident Evil 5. He played this, and yeah, he even admitted the game's bad. anyway, I'm going to stop right here, and the next video will be why I didn't cook Resident Evil 6. Stay tuned.